Okay, so my tip of the month for the Macintosh has to do if you have upgraded to Monterey. Actually, it's more to do with the latest upgrade to Safari, which does come with Monterey, Safari 15. However, it was also pushed out as a Safari upgrade independently for Macs running Big Sur and I believe Catalina as well. So if you're still running a Catalina or Big Sur Mac and you've upgraded to Safari 15, there are some new interface features in air quotes. So actually I think they turned them off by default now. So it depends on what how things are on your system. But here's the deal that Apple changed in Safari 15. And I'm going to hide my favorites bar just so that's not cluttering up the thing. So you'll notice at the very top of the Safari window here, they've done what they call compacted everything. So each of these little buttons here are open tabs in my web browser. And if I hover over one that's not currently viewed, it shows me a preview of it. That's kind of nice. But the active tab is also where your search field is, or your address bar for doing a web search or typing in a new address. So instead of having a separate field for searches and addresses, it's whatever active tab it is, which seems confusing. Also, when you switch to a different tab, they look more like buttons. They don't really look like tabs. They're not really looking like they're connected with the content below them. But if I click on this one, oh, look at there, the whole thing changes color at the top. Oh my goodness. Some of these just stay white, but one of the other options is that the tab bar can have the color of the website so that it looks like that the content of the website, this one's dark gray, and it looks like the content of the website goes all the way up to the top of the window. There's no longer a distinction between your toolbar and your tabs and the content. But it's not consistent on every single website. It just depends on how the website's been coded and what colors are on the website that you're looking at. So this one has green in it, so it makes the tab bar green, and this one makes it gray.
It picks up the background color.
Picks up the background color. Now it's interesting because Jim has a background color, has this gradient background, but it's not picking that up. It must be because it's an image, some kind of different image or something. But so that's the new look, and the whole idea that Apple said about this was that because vertical space on a screen, because we have widescreen computers now, the vertical space is limited. So they compacted everything into one strip at the top to give you more room for the content of your website that you're looking at. However, nobody was ever really complaining that that was a problem because guess what? Oh, I can just scroll to see the rest of it. Let's see what else is down here. So it's like, okay, well, thanks Apple for fixing something that wasn't broken. And there was a lot. This was presented at Worldwide Developers Conference when they presented the new operating systems in June. By the time it released in the fall, there had been so much complaining about it by users and developers and the tech press that Apple, they didn't get rid of it, but they did backtrack enough to give you, as a user, controls to change it back to the way it was before. So in the Safari menu, if you choose Preferences, and in the you can look through these preference panes at the top here. There's just a couple of them that are relevant to this. In the second one over, Tabs, here's the tab layout control that you put in here so that you can have it compact if you want, or you can choose separate, and it makes it back the way it was before. So now, if I look at the tabs for these websites now are hanging down below the address bar and the search field, and they actually are highlighted in such a way that that's the one that's got the content that you're looking at. They actually look like tabs again rather than buttons across the top. So that's pretty nice. You can choose that. Go back to preferences. There's this automatically collapse tab titles into icons, which you can, I don't have enough to show that, but if you have a whole bunch of tabs open and there's not enough room to show the text, it'll just show the icon by itself, which, okay, that's okay. As long as there's an icon for the website, that's nice. And then if you go all the way over to the right, there's the advanced one, the advanced settings, and this is where the control for the color of the compact tab bar is. So if you're not using the compact tab bar, this really doesn't make much difference. But if you like the compact tab bar but you don't like the color option, you can turn that color option off in the advanced settings in Safari Preferences. That's just a checkbox. So if I turn that off, and then if I go back to the compact view here, I can look at one of these websites that had a color, like this 6 colors now. It's not showing any color in the top of the tab bar. During Fireball, which was the gray, it's not showing the gray all the way at the top. So you can turn off the color independently of the compact tab bar if you'd like that. I personally like the separate tabs. It's more visually clear to me that whatever tab I'm looking at, and that's the content below it. And of course, I do like my favorites bar to show up too, because I have a lot of folders with a whole bunch of other websites that I can access really quickly there. So that's a real quick overview of the new features of Safari 15 and how you can return it to the legacy interface if you don't like the new compact interface.